what all about the investment process. And today, during the webinar, there will be presented some examples of effective and ineffective pricing models in SaaS. Again, today we host Grzegorz Furtak, the expert and specialist in that field, which I hope you enjoy. Yesterday, the webinar. What is the Twist Digital? This is the Horizon 2020 action through the Startup Europe program, which is organized. Startup Europe aims to strengthen the business environment for the web ICT entrepreneurs, and we as a Twist consortium aims to connect 4 existing local web entrepreneurship startup ecosystems, which are in Rome, Lille, Warsaw, and Stockholm. I hope that you already know very well Grzegorz, but for those of you who attend today's webinar for the very first time, is Up Pricing, the Pricing Club company founder, mentor and coach for the startups with an experience in the field of pricing for more than 20 years of experience working both for the startup companies, but also within the experience of
Skończyliśmy z kamerę.
Tak? Właśnie mam prezentację. So how are we technically set? You just give me a confirmation that do you hear me and do you see? All right. Okay. Great. Thank you, Philip. I can always count on you. You are only one active in the chat. All right. Okay, guys. So good morning, everyone. My name is Grzegorz Furtak. I'm a pricing expert and founder of Pricing Lab company. So yesterday we talked about the methodology, how to create effective pricing plan for our SaaS business model. Today I'm going to show you a couple of great examples of best practices in SaaS pricing plans, and I will just draw your attention on specific elements which I found very interesting, which of course you can implement in your company. And finally, I just share with you some thoughts, my thoughts. What should we avoid, during our creation of SaaS pricing plans. All right. So we can skip the agenda. For those of you who didn't participate yesterday at our webinar, I will just give you a very short introduction what the pricing is, because many people ask me, okay, what is it really about, and what is it in for me? What can I get from pricing? So just shortly, introduce some piece of theory about pricing and some very clear example how can we use it in our efforts. So first of all, of course, there are some a couple of definition what the pricing is. One is that pricing is only one element from marketing mix which brings the revenue into the company, and I think this is very true, because when you create product, when you have to decide how to distribute it, or you need to promote or communicate your value, of course those three elements are very much related with the cost. And price, this is only one element which brings the revenue in the company. What is beauty of pricing is that in a way you can increase your price from Monday. In many businesses you can decide it by your own, right? So you can really take a decision and make the big impact on your bottom line, right? With the value creation or the new product development is not so easy, right? The other theory, or the other saying is that the pricing is most powerful lever in your company, and particularly this is very true. Okay, yesterday I showed you one chart with this research showing that the monetization has much stronger impact on your bottom line than acquisition process, right? And please remember that. So the monetization in SaaS project, in a SaaS business model, is really the strongest and most powerful profit level in the company. And from our experience, I shared that thought with you yesterday. We spend too much effort and too less effort and energy to create really good monetization process, the pricing page, compared to acquisition sort of process, right? And you probably know that saying coming from Warren Buffett. He used to say that pricing power is the best element to evaluate value of the company. Right? This guy is really experienced. You of course know him. He's almost 80, I guess, and he's one of the richest guys in globe. Right? So it's good to hear experienced, old, rich people, to be better and better. Okay, and you can see on this chart our sort of definition which I created and I like most. So in our understanding, pricing is really, first of all, understanding, and after that, influencing customer value perception and price perception in order to maximize long-term profit. And I emphasize one word, which is perception. So price and value, it's very individual, evaluated. So we need to really understand what is the perception of price and perception of value, and not just talking about the numbers, right? So finally, we are talking about pricing because we just can earn more on our prices, right? And few short examples. I I just showed that yesterday for you, but I explained very shortly for newcomers as well, right? So how can we influence price perception? For example, endings, right? Non-endings. This is a very typical example. How can we influence price perception? So people used to sort of perceive or really even €7, not 8, but we are talking about the price 1 cent close to 8, right? So we can see how can we how the perception is sort of shortcut of our understanding of an environment, right? And the other example was this anchoring. So top highest priced 1980 has some kind of influence for other prices on the price list. This is this picture on the right, right? Another example of how can we influence the value perception is just this is wording. In SAAS project, I will just show you the example, how this wording works in a SAAS world as well. That was in LinkedIn. This is using LinkedIn pricing page. I will come back to that. But again, about Starbucks coffee, of course, how come that they call the smallest version of coffee in the wording of tall? Okay, right. So is it tall or small? For God's sake, of course, this is the smaller version. They call it tall, but this is, the reason of that is just they want to have, let's say, different point of perception because they would like to have higher price point. That this is this game about, right? To charge $3 per cup of coffee, you need to have some kind of decompositions of value, right? So this is an example how can we influence that. Another example is limited edition. Only for that wording, if people know that something is in limited edition, we just unconsciously evaluate that this item has the higher value. So this is kind of example how can we influence this price and value perception. What if we cannot do anything about price point, right? And this is common example in FMCG business, especially in food. If the price is in a sense fixed in mind of consumers, so we call it that the price reference is so known and so strong, like coffee in Italy or beer in Germany, or I don't know, a leaf of bread, for example. So very the can of Coca-Cola, which costs around 2.5 zloty in retail price in Poland, right? So when the price is so strong, established in mind, we can use some other technique, which is downsizing. We can just take away a little bit of value and earn more money because cost of production will drop. That's another interesting observation in sorry in this downsizing technique is that we are much more, as a consumers, we are much more sensitive for price change than value change, right? So if we even notice that this the bar of chocolate has 4 grams less weight, we are not so sort of angry than if we see that if we notice the price has risen couple of percent higher, right? So this is all about understanding how consumers perceive value and price. All right. So yesterday, just so long. Okay. All right. So yesterday we discussed this final pricing page. What we did through the methodology, what I presented to you yesterday, the seven steps, from understanding the value, finally to decide how we should create the pricing and packaging and wording and framing, right? So let me come back shortly to this example, and then we'll go with some world-known example of web price. So as you remember, we started with discussion with some entry price point. So entry price point is very important to segment the market. So this entry price point, this is kind of the decision with whom we don't want to do the business with, right? So we have how many price plan we need to show. Of course, the answer is the answer comes from market segmentation. If we can segment the market with a 3 or 4 segments, of course, then it's good to present the 3 or 4 pricing plans, right? Because the different segments, the reason of that is that they've got the very different, in many cases, very different value requirements, and they've got the very different price point sensitivity, right? This is why we are doing this market segmentation. So we talk about some kind of framing, right? How can we frame for whom this plan is best for? We discuss about that we can present the value more in a benefit wording communication. This is a very good example. We can help a little bit for our customers to make a choice. Making a choice, it's not so easy. We all do the shopping, right? And when you come over to the hypermarkets and you find 10,000 products, in many cases you are feeling lost. So this is the observation what I described yesterday, that too wide choice, it's not good. It's not good, right? In many cases, it's not good. So people just want to have, of course, they need to have a choice, but choice out of 3 or 4, it seems to be very optimal. So the social proof saying that many of our customers just has chosen this plan in a way help people to make this choice. Another comment is that this plan is in the middle, and people used to choose this middle options, which seems to be the safe way of taking the decision. So my insight for you is that if you can find that your best profitable options is particularly one, you can try to put this option in the middle, right? So this makes little bit of modeling the decision-making process, right? So we have some name, price index example, and I told you yesterday about this useless price point, which make some kind of anchoring for customers, with exposition with high numbers. So 28,000 in this case, compared to 3,000. Okay, this is very, very big difference, right? So this is kind of technique. How can we anchor, the perceptions of other plan left in our pricing plan? From one hand, from the other hand, we can show that we have so much, capacity and resources that we can make the business with a big company. So this this enterprise plan, I think it's really important, because for one hand you are doing some anchoring for the number, from the other hand you just make some kind of proof, and you build trust that you are able to make the business with some big players, right? So don't forget about that, right? Okay, so that was from yesterday. Let's talk about some global examples, right? So first of all, LinkedIn. You probably all use LinkedIn, so I don't need to introduce this enterprise very much, but probably you know that LinkedIn has been sold, recently to Microsoft by guess how, $26 billion, right? So that was really good deal, $26 billion. This is typical freemium pricing model. You can have a lot of value for free, but for some extra utility or usability or extra value, of course, you need to pay some kind of money, right? This is really success story. When you see the numbers, LinkedIn has more than 460 million users worldwide. I read yesterday the number, they got 1.5 million users in Poland. They are really successful story. And I heard very interesting information from LinkedIn team. There was one top managing lady on the conference which I participated in, and she said very interesting information. The main cash flow for LinkedIn, so it comes from the big data sold to third party. That's very interesting, right? So this paid plans, what we'll discuss in a moment, is just small portion of cash flow which they generated. So of course, when you have database like LinkedIn, more than 400 million users, you've got the great big data, which there are many companies interested in, right? We are talking about business people. We are talking about a lot of information of them, their sales and behaviors, right? So very interesting success story. Okay, let's have a look a little bit on this pricing page of LinkedIn. So first of all, we've got market segments right here. So this is look at the wording. The wording is really not like individual business, whatever. This is like the benefit wording. So look at the first one. So land your dream job. Okay, this is the name of first segment. So segment, they've got a little bit different way of segmentation. So the segment is not like the small big grade, but they segment, okay, the people who are searching, or they are open for new a job opportunity, right? So there's different kind of segmentation, very interesting, right? So let's see how the other example, grow and nurture your network, right? So you just want to grow your network, or you maybe want to do the business through this distribution channel in a way, or gather some business contacts or sales opportunities. And the last one is find a higher talent. This last segment, this is for HR companies which they actively search the market to have the best candidates. So this is only one place. LinkedIn is only one place where the HR companies can use this tool to just create the database. Very interesting way of market segment. Then we've got this value communication as a benefit language in here, so you can read how they describe what is the benefit for each market segment, right? And then I told you, about this framing example. Look at here, when you choose, this is price for grow and nurture your networks, number 2. Look at this wording. After your 3-month, pay as little as $34.99 a month, right? As little as $34.99 per month. This is kind of framing. How can you frame, this price perceptions? How can you model this? Right? And another example is, that as you see, the price differences are not really high, right? This is interesting. That especially for HR companies, I would a little bit rise this price. This is my perception that this price could be raised, right? Because for individuals who are thinking for a dream job, they have $21.99, and for HR companies, it's just triple the price. I think the value is much higher, right? Okay, so let me show you the other example. Dropbox Pro, right? Data storage. You probably know this solution very well, right? So I will not describe that. Let me just draw your attention in a couple of places, right? First of all, look at here. They say, okay, you have a choice, pay monthly or pay in annual period, right? So you can switch, this button to see, what is the best solution for you. Of course, they've got some kind of bonus to have this annual payment, which is, for a SaaS business, the best we can imagine, right? If you have, annual payment, you can easily sort of forecast, your cash flow. It's much easier to forecast your cash flow than when you have your monthly period payments, and people can quit, anytime, right? So you got, savings of $90 if you choose annual payment. Let us remember that, as I told you before, people just love to have a choice. So giving the choice between annual and monthly payment is a very good way to just push them, to take the decision, right? Okay. And we talked about framing example. Now look at here, right? So Dropbox Pro, I'll translate that in English. Dropbox Pro costs as much that 3 cups of coffee a month. Isn't it beautiful framing? Okay, Dropbox Pro costs as much as 3 cups of coffee a month. And that's the framing, and very nice picture of it. And another example of very sort of interesting value communication. This is sort of my case, right? So they showed me, how much space I use. Of course, I'm not in Dropbox Pro. I use this free version, but they just showed me, okay, how much space do I have, or will I have if I would just spend, price of 3 cups of coffee, right? So I can see that sort of ocean of opportunities, right? Very good way. Let us remember that picture says more than 1 million words, right? So this is very interesting way to communicate the value or opportunity value, right? So you are here, okay, it's good that you are not paying, but you use only this kind of portion of our value. If you pay such a small money, look at here, you have so much place to store your data. Very good, interesting example of framing from one hand, choice making, and then value communication opportunity. All right. Okay. Spotify, probably you know this music streaming service. You know, very interesting example. One number before we talk about this pamphlets. They've got more than 40 million paid plan users. Paid plan users, right? 40 million paid plan users. This is of course another example of very big global success. But what is interesting is in this pricing plan, I find very interesting the simplicity of this pricing plans. You know, if we don't have to make this market segmentation, and if our value can be just for everyone or for most of us, maybe the good way is to not complicate this stuff very much. Simplicity makes value as well, right? So if simple way of showing the price and value is possible, so I strongly recommend let's do it, right? So in this way we have only two plans. One is free, but you can hear your music randomly, right? And if you pay not 20 zloty, remember 19.99 zloty a month, 19.99. You remember this example with the price endings. You just have so much different value, all right? So you can just make some kind of list, of course, no advertising and so on and so on. And another example of interesting pricing in this example is bundling. So we can make some bundle of value, and thanks to that we can create some new pricing point, right? So as you see here, this premium is for family, only maximum for 6 users, and you pay 29.99, not 30, 29.99. So about these endings again, people ask me many times, what about this nine endings? Is it working or not? And at which price point are they really effective? So I can tell you that in such a price point like 10, 20, 30, even up to I think 100 zloty at least, this 1999 endings. 99 endings were very low, right? But when you just have some higher points like 200, 300, 400, 500 zloty, it's better to end our price at 90 because this is in many cases perceived as a sort of tricky game, right? So in this case, 1999 I like very much, and 29.99. So I think this is used very well. This is not 19.99. So many people just say that for Spotify you need to pay only 19 zloty per month, so they skip this 19.9 grosz. All right. And another example of pricing plan. This is Brand 24. They value position is internet monitoring, but you can monitor your brand, your company, how people talk about your brand, product, whatever. So very popular in Poland. Let's see, this pricing plan. So let me start with this price point difference rate. I told you yesterday about this rule 1, 2, 4. So if we decide how many segments we need to, it's good to show in our pricing plan. Then we have to decide what should be the difference between the pricing points, right? So what I mean by that, what should be difference between second, third, and fourth versus this first one. So So I call it price point different rate, which shows, how can we sort of influence the choice, because as we discussed before, people used to choose these middle examples, and in the sense we can model the choice. As you see here, this price per different rate is 13833. So it means that if we divide this premium by plus, we've got rate of 3. If we divide business by plus, we have 8. But if we divide this max by plus, we have 33. So this rate shows us how different the price points are in different value segments, right? Why we do that? Because we are going to, because this is used to model the choice, right? So in this sense, we can say that if we, focus our attention on value, and the value difference is not so huge, so it's very clear that this is the best. This is the best plan for us, right? And I told you about this user's price point, which makes this anchoring effect. Look at here, 3,000 compared to 89. It's as you see here, is 30 times bigger price than the first plan. So I think it makes some kind of anchoring for other plans. And another comment about this enterprise plan, as you see here. So we can say that if the price range is so huge, we can say that this company has some kind of common usage of value, and they've got this penetration strategy, right? So they just want to the business with a small, medium, and big enterprise company. This is typical for penetration strategy businesses, right? Okay, and very sort of standard but clear value communication. So you can see the differences between all plans, and it's more or less easier to understand what is the best solution for us. Then we have 14 days free trial for every segment. Trial, as we discussed yesterday, is just to use. This is the tool. How can we acquire new customers in our platform? Right. Another example of Kissmetrics. This company makes some kind of internet analytics. Let's see here. The price point difference rate is 135. Right. So difference again. 400 divided by 120 makes 3, and so on. So they've got only 3 options: 135, price point different rate. They've got the social proof technique, right, which is most common used, right? Very clear in the middle and with the blue mark inside. What is new interesting element in this pricing place? First of all, additions, right? Some extra value which we can just get some more money. Let us remember one very interesting observation from pricing discipline, that consumers are much less sensitive for additions prices versus some regular product prices, right? So let's take the car business examples. So we are of course much more sensitive for car price, fixed car price. I don't know, 25,000 euro. Then for some extras for that, right? We men love, of course, some extras for the car. So we are much less price sensitive for that. And we can say that this is a very good example how can we use this technique, right? So let's see here. This is internet analytics company, and they say, if you want more help from us, we just can make some add-ons for you, right? And as you see here, for extra onboarding, so they say, okay, you need to pay 600 euro, sorry, dollars. So as 1 month power business plan, right? And if you want us to help you to implement some kind of solutions we are making, you need to pay $1,500, right? Very interesting way to earn some more money for add-ons, for some additional value, right? Decision are made in here, but after that, if you need help, we can do it, of course, for you, but you need to pay some extra money. Very interesting way to gather some more cash flow from our business model. And another interesting example is, as I told you before, the choice of options make in many cases harmful for customers. So this is the way how can we make this choice easier for them. So this is kind of calculator or estimator, let's say, what is the best or what is the optimal plan for me, right? So we can put some data, small portion of data, and then there is the indication which plan is best, is optimal for you. Of course, why we are doing that? No one just wants to lose money, right? Or of course, we love to take the decision in a sort of pragmatic way, right? So this is like showing, okay, we can by that support, we can say we don't want some extra money for you. We just want you to be your customer experience. We just want you to be happy, working with us in the way which is optimal for you, right? So this is kind of customer experience optimization, right? Which is again very important for this retention process which we discussed yesterday, right? To keep people in our platform, we need to really do everything that they got, the best sort of trade-off between value and price, okay? Because we are finally in the marketplace, right? Very interesting examples, right? Another example is Kraken, which they make some kind of ultra-fast image optimizer. Look at here. This is the first pricing plan which has five pricing plans, right? The price point different rate is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So as you see, it is quite kind of regular, right? So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So we have first entry price point $5, which is what, even not 2 cup of Starbucks coffee, right? Using the framing, and the highest price point is at the level of 79. Look at the endings. There is no 20, 40, 80. It's only 79, 39, so on, so on. So my price endings is used in this case. Okay. Of course, we have this social proof. So recommended, right? Or most people have chosen this plan. We have this choice button, which I find very interesting. So just choose monthly or yearly, right? So this plan just will change the number. Now we can see the monthly calculation. So just make me feel okay. I can make a choice. Very interesting button. And what is very interesting about some other element, there is the cost of additional gigabyte. And as you see here, very interesting. As you see, in a regular basis, the price point rise from left to right, right? And in this case, just drop from left to right. So it makes you a little bit of impressions, that maybe it's better to go on the right and not to have not enough space, because otherwise I will have this highest price point to pay for extra gigabyte. This is very interesting, right? So if I'm thinking about this micro plan, I say, okay, $5 is okay, but I have only 500 megabytes, and what if there is a shortage of space? So I need to pay. Let's see here. It is the monthly payment, right? So maybe I can consider it in this way. Maybe it's better to get this one, right? So very interesting way to show the price points, to make people feel that maybe it's better to go on the right in our price plan. Very interesting. All right. Okay. Another example of very interesting pricing plan in a little bit different way, as you see here. It's much different way. First of all, you can easily see, for what you are paying the money, right? So we got nice wording. Okay, what is it about these guys? They just create the solutions for online privacy search, right? So then you can use some kind of VPN app to search online with a full privacy. So this is the value proposition, and as I see here, is great way to see how they describe the value. Okay, so little value for free. You've got 500 megabytes. Then you've got giant. I like this picture very much because last week I spent in this shop 1 week. Alone with only myself and some basic stuff. So I just walk away 100 kilometers through the red road, through the whole Bieszczady. But I'm saying that because the many people just told me before I started, be careful about birds, be careful about birds, because there are a lot of birds, and you are in there. Just I felt a little bit, worried about my condition. That's why I like this bird pricing page very much. So I'm happy that I didn't meet this guy. But okay, again, so for a giant you pay $7.99, okay, a month, and then what they do, very interesting, way of showing the thread options. As you see here, they say you can pay only $4.16 monthly, but if you pay for 1 year, right? So it is very interesting way, because we are just we are used to read pricing plans from zero. Then we have some higher price and higher. But as you see here, as a price point on price points, we have in the middle $7.99, and in the first option from the right, which we used to expect the highest price point, they say, okay, you can pay only $4.16. So half of that price, half of the middle price. But with a little bit remark that if you pay for annual option, right? Very interesting way, a little bit different, right? So why don't we do the different different, something different than other competitors. Very interesting way. And so they say, okay, even this is the the best price point for you. You've got some savings right here. So they say you've got $49.99 build, right? So the extra, they say this is most popular one, and you save 48%, of your money, right? So I need to say that it's really difficult to reject, this option. It's so strongly shown as the best option for me that I think that the choice is very clear that this is the best option for myself, and they got customer for 1 year. Very interesting. So a little bit of humor, a little bit of the picture way of showing, of giving some kind of information. Very interesting social proof and savings together. So these options, it's really the best for customers. So the choices seems to be easy, right? And then finally, I just wanted to show you some different example, some new way of doing the business, because the SaaS models, they are used to more and more in some other business sectors as well, not only software and internet solutions. As you see here, this is a company called Dollar Shave Club. What is interesting that this company has been sold to, be careful, Unilever this year for $1 billion. So this is another way of success story. And a couple of years ago, a guy asked himself, okay, why don't we sell the razors in a subscriptions way? So you don't have to pay for these brands like Gillette and some other Wilkinson, some other brands, and you don't have to think about making this purchasing, just we will do that for you, right? So there is only one. You need what you need to do. You need to just sign up for subscription. You will get the stift, and then we, on a monthly basis, we just send you the razors, which you prefer. Right? Very interesting way of changing the pricing models, right? So you can see this first delivery in here. The choice is between some basic razor, which they call the Humble Twin, then the middle one, the 4X, and then Executive. Executive, isn't it beautiful framing? The Executive razor. I don't know what does it mean. I was one CEO, but I don't see any impact on my choice of razors. Anyway, so as you see here, again, we have this price point difference rate 169, right? So $1, $6, $9, okay? And we've got, a little bit of interesting this trial period way of presenting. So if you take the this $1 options, you will, after 1 month you will pay $1. There is no change. But if you choose for subscription for X, first month you will get $1, and after 1 month 6, and so on in this executive options. Then we have very interesting way of social proof. Okay, so the guys, they said that the number of reviews, right, in the way some e-commerce companies used to have this option. So with some kind of star marks, how many people clicked in this version. So this is kind of social proof how can we influence the choice, right? Very in this way. Use the SaaS or subscription business model for new market sectors. And I saw recently, I saw some other example of that. For example, some lawyer attorney companies, they propose their services in the SaaS subscription model as well. So I think this will continue. This trend will continue. Right. Fine. Let me on the end. Let me show you some example. How can we then measure is our pricing plan effective? Probably you know this techniques or analytics. I would say heat map that we can after that after we create some plan and then after some period, 1 to 3 months, we can check, is it effective or not, and we can see here some kind of analytics we can implement to see, how people behave, which plans they are most common clicked, or what part of value presentation is most visible for customers. Very interesting way to evaluate is our pricing plan effective, right? This is another example. So, the idea is obvious. The standard options is most popular, right? Standard options in here is most popular one. So very interesting way to get some grip, is the working on, because in pricing, let us remember that we need to in a way experiment, right? So if especially in SaaS pricing plans, so after 2 or 3 months, let us do some kind of analytics and then ask ourselves again, is it active or is it effective or not? All right, and then today I focus on the best practice examples, but let me shortly give you some insight about what to avoid. So I just wanted to show you how interesting this way of presenting pricing plans could be. And so I strongly do not recommend to use this pricing plan templates when you can find everywhere, right? So 3 or 4 pricing plans, some standard wording, right, like standard pro business, whatever, which which doesn't help you to get a trust from your customers, in my opinion. So you can really think, how to present your value and wording, some kind of framing, and it's better to do it in your own way. So I showed you how some interesting examples. How can you do that? Right? Another insight is to avoid your competitors, to copy your competitors' pricing plans, right? So I think it's really that thing to do. You cannot give your monetization process to, let's say, your competitors' hands, right? I think it's not right. So just do not copy. Of course, you remember yesterday process, right? We need to understand, and we need to monitor how competitors create what are their prices and value presentation. But what of course we need to do something different than our competitors to have a chance to get more customers from them. So why don't we give our monetization process to our competitors? I think it's not right to do. And finally, there was yesterday a question from Philip, I think, about this cost calculation. So I think, especially in SaaS business model, we need to rather avoid this cost plus calculation, because in many startups, the unit cost levels are in a rather small the small level, right? So we really can get false thoughts or insights for our investment. What I really recommend is to try to understand what is the optimal value perception for our customer and the price point acceptance level, right? What we discussed yesterday, and then to try to put the price point for different segments at our pricing plan page. All right, okay. So that's all from myself about our best practice today. As I told you yesterday, if you are interested to get some insight, some more information about pricing, we just share our content in our blog. We will be pricing up our Facebook fan page, so you can find a lot of I guess interesting insight about pricing. If you are interested in some other way of cooperation, just contact us by our website. So I thank you very much to Krzysztof for the invitation for these two webinars. Also for myself, please, if there are any questions, please do that. All right. Thank you, Philip, for your feedback. So, Philip, was great one more time. Thank you very much. So, if there are no questions, just thank you all, guys, and good luck in your business. Goodbye. Chyba krócej,